Hi, kindergarten. You might notice that we are in a little bit of a new space, and that is because Miss Bear transformed her closet into a classroom for us. So you are going to notice that we have our calendar right here, our sight words right here, our schedule right here, and we have our games of the week right here, and our focus for the month right here. Our focus for the month is Women's History Month. And we are going to be reading Amelia Earhart, all about her, because she is such an important woman that we are going to get to study. Now, this book has a front cover. This book has a back cover. This book has a spine. And I know that you know this amazing song, so ready? Let's do it. Front cover, back cover, spine. Touch your back, touch your spine. Open your mind, hands in your lap. It's story time. Now, the author of this book is Brad Meltzer. Brad Meltzer is the author. Let's do our song. The author writes the words. The author writes the words. Hi-ho, a cherry-o. The author writes the words. And the next person we are going to be studying is our illustrator. Our illustrator is Christopher Elipios. Maybe Miss Bear is pronouncing it a little wrong, but she's trying her best. And the illustrator, he draws the pictures. Let's do it. The illustrator draws the pictures. The illustrator draws the pictures. Hi-ho, a cherry-o. The illustrator draws the pictures. Now, let's get to reading our favorite part. I am Amelia Earhart. When I was little and people told me that girls should wear dresses and play with dolls, they said we shouldn't have unladylike adventures. I didn't agree. So here is Amelia Earhart, and here are her family. In fact, when I was 7, my sister and I decided to build our own roller coaster in our backyard. We placed 2 planks of wood against the side of the tool shed. The cab was a wooden packing box with roller skate wheels attached to the bottom. We greased the wood with lard so we'd go super fast. You all see what she built? She is an engineer. She builds things, and she's also an innovator. She makes the imaginable come to life. Of course, I got to ride first. This was my moment. Here we go, she said in 3, 2, 1. I still remember the wind in my face and my stomach seemed to think. I was flying. Does everybody see Amelia Earhart flying in the air? Wow, that seems so fun. The crash was loud and noisy and messy, but it certainly wasn't ladylike. It was awesome. And she sang, "It's so awesome!" She didn't have to be like a lady in the way that other people expected her to be. She was following her dreams of flying. It wasn't the last time I would fly. As I got older, I went to many air shows. When I was 23 years old, my dad took me to meet Frank Hawks, a man who would eventually set flying records of his own. For $10, Hawks agreed to take me on my very first flight. Wow, her very first flight in an airplane in the sky. If you've ever been on an airplane, can you give me a me too? I've been on an airplane and I love being in the sky. However, sometimes I get a little scared when we are going up and when we are coming down on the airplane. For 10 minutes, we flew through the sky and out over the Pacific Ocean. I knew that I had to fly. So here's Amelia Bedelia's very first flight. To save for my flying lessons, I worked as a truck driver, which wasn't ladylike either. I also worked as a stenographer, which is the fancy smancy word for someone who writes down what people say. And even as a photographer. So here are some of the jobs that Amelia Bedelia did so she could save money so that she could fly. Because her real dream was to fly. And in order to fly, she had to grow her brain in so many other different jobs. 6 months after that, I learned to fly. I bought a bright yellow used biplane that I named Canary. It's a cool name for a plane, right? But here's my secret. Listen up. I wasn't a natural. I wasn't the best pilot. I just worked hard. So Amelia Earhart was using her perseverance tool. She tried and tried and tried again to be such a good pilot. Most important, oh, did I not show you that page? My mistake. Here's her plane, her very first plane, Canary. Most important, like that day on the roller coaster, I dared to do what someone said could not be done. I became the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean, and then the first woman to fly by myself across the Atlantic. Back then, people took boats to get to Europe, which on our map at school is that yellow continent. If you want to look it up at home right now, you can ask your family, where is Europe, the continent? Back then, people took boats to get to Europe, sailing for weeks. Planes were still a new thing. In fact, on the day I took off, one magazine ran an article that said, women would never be able to fly that far. But kindergarten, do you think Amelia Earhart could fly that far? Yes or no? I think she could fly that far. Let's see. But I did. To do it, I had to fly for 14 hours and 56 minutes with no rest and no break. She must be tired. Sometimes the sun was so bright, I could barely see where I was going. In the process, I broke the record for flying across the ocean in the shortest amount of time and doing it faster than any man or any woman or anybody ever could. Here's her flying across the Atlantic Ocean. Then I broke an altitude record, which is a fancy schmancy word for saying I went higher in the sky than anybody else. How high did I go? About 12 Empire State Buildings, straight up, at a time when no woman had ever gone that high. Wow. She is doing really amazing things and setting incredible records. In my life, I took many flights, every single time there was someone who had said I wouldn't be able to do it. But did Amelia Earhart give up? No, she stayed determined. She tried and tried and tried again. Never let anyone stop you. Whatever your dream is, chase it. Work hard for it. You will find it. It is the best lesson that I can give you. I am Amelia Earhart. I know no bounds. And I hope you'll remember the greatest flight you ever take is the one no one has tried before. Wow, here's Amelia Earhart right after, and all of the people cheering her on. Never interrupt someone doing what they said you couldn't do. And here's our real life picture of Amelia Earhart. And here's a few more. So kindergarten, this book is so important because it's teaching us not only about a famous woman, but it's also teaching us that we need to follow our dreams and to be determined. So, your activity is to show me what's something that you want to do, that you are going to be so determined to do. Just like Amelia Earhart's dream was to fly a plane, you might have a dream. It can be a little dream or a big dream. For example, Miss Bear's dream is to backpack the Camino de Santiago. So that means Miss Bear wants to go hike, and have a backpack on her back for about a month. That's a really long time. A lot of people say, Miss Bear can't do it. That is my dream. What is your dream? I cannot wait to see it as you show me. Thank you, kindergarten, for reading with me, and I'm really excited to hearing about all of your dreams.